So, so we'll have start with the first presentation. This will be Etsuko Dohi, Representative Director and Producer of Children Meet Cinema. Theme is 20 years of Children Meet Cinema and the prospects for the future. Yes, hello everybody. I am from CMC. It's very nice to meet you all. So, I'm just going to talk briefly about Children Meet Cinema, CMC, while showing our official website. And this is the top page of the website. Oh, okay. Yes. So sorry. I was a little bit surprised because we've just renewed our website. It's still being under construction, and so if you search for Children Meet Cinema, you'll get this. So anyway, I'd like to talk about what we do. So CMC is the name of our organization, which is a General Incorporated Association. In English, we call ourselves Children Meet Cinema, or the CMC. And just moving along further. So what is the CMC? So that's the question here. And so the CMC is a place where children can meet adults. And so this is a place where children can see films, watch movies, and develop movies and films and discover. And so we are aiming to be a place like that for children. And we are an open place. At the CMC, it's a free and open space. At CMC, we don't tell or force children what to do. So professional film staff, visit us, but we do not have them tell what the children what a film is or what it should be. And also, it is a place where adults keep telling children that no one can take your place. So what I mean here is that when we don't usually assign roles when we make films. There's like director, cameraman, recordist, actors. So many different roles, but we don't divide up the roles, and we don't because we want everybody to take those roles, and then, if we get stuck, we can all talk about it until we're all convinced. And each child is an individual who's capable of performing different roles. Like, for example, if a child is a cameraman, you know, like for example, if it's just a cameraman, it'll be all kinds of people can be the cameraman. But if a child is a cameraman, we will fully trust what he or she discovers and feels because each child is different and is capable of doing unique things, and we'll leverage on that. So if the role is replaced by another children in a team of 6, the film could turn out to be a completely different film. So that's the kind of filmmaking we aim to do. So inevitably, it boils down to the message of no one can take your place. No one can make the film like you do. And so the CMC is a place where children can meet passionate adults, and I'll explain this later. Next, I'd like to talk about what we think is important to us at the CMC. And if you just keep scrolling downwards. So, firstly, adults should not interfere or meddle with what the children are doing. This is what I meant when I said that we don't teach filmmaking. And this is a pretty strict rule that we ask others to do, that we ask film professionals not to teach film. So what does this mean? So, we believe that there is no correct answer to filmmaking, and that's why film creators experience different issues, and that goes for adults and children alike. And so we believe that adults should not teach children how to make films. Instead, we need to create an environment where children can behave freely and discover films on their own. And we just trust them to do so and watch over them. And so when the children are able to create their own film, that leads to confidence and that makes them stronger to live their lives. And so discovering passionate adults. So far, directors such as Hirokazu Koreeda and Nobuhiro Suwa, who are at the forefront of the film industry, have participated in our projects. And our staff members are also film professionals. And although they do not interfere or meddle with what the children are doing, they are still film professionals. When adults become passionate with filmmaking, we unconsciously start to meddle. But that's okay, I think, because observing such passionate adults being immersed in something, creates such a big impact on children. Children see that and they observe that, and it creates a big impression on children. And so it's very important for children to meet adults who are not their parents or teachers, and to create relationships without any conflict of interest. And so we have a video about this, but please take a look. It's about a 2-minute video.
映画っていうのは全的な体験、ありとあらゆるものを使って、体験する。体も頭も目も耳も心もそういうものを全部使ってやる。
Okay, so thank you for watching that. So that is what we do. We try and create an environment where children are free to do as they want. And so where and do we do this, and who do we do this with? So we actually have a video about this. That is about a minute and a half that tells you about who we work with, where we work at.
かなり
So
ざ
you
っく
can
りですけれど
see,
も、
well,
い
it's
ろ
a
ん
very
な
rough picture, but
パートナーと
you can see that we have worked with all kinds of partners to do the
シンポジ
workshops,
ウムを使って
and we also do organize symposiums.
でこのままちょっと一つ
And
コメントをですね、
we have a
いろんな人からコ
comment,
メント
oh,
を
some
もらってるん
comments
ですけれども、
from
こ
a
の
lot of people here.
ゆずちゃん、もうちょっと
There's a person called Yuzu-san.
ちょっと読み上げますね。
Okay, I can read it out then.
女の子です。
So this is a girl. I joined the workshop in 5th grade, and I was still invited when I became a junior high school student. And so being involved in the CMC was a turning point for my life. I was able to discover films, discover peers, and I was able to meet passionate adults. And more than anything, I was able to meet new experiences. I was able to understand what a great film is, to be absorbed in films, and to create films with fabulous people, and to respect each other. So everything I learned at the CMC, and those experiences are still alive within me, and I want to keep them very precious. It's very precious for me. So she's now a college student, and I was so happy, when I received these comments. So now I'd like to show you a 5 minute and a half video by an elementary school child. Oh, this is a group. This was in September of this year, and it was very hot. And we did a 3-day workshop. We spent 3 days creating this film in Shibamata, Katsushika, and our special lecturer was Mr. Takayuki Fukada. And the theme that he came up with was looking back. So it's really looking back physically and looking back, psychologically. So please take a look at this video. It lasts for 5.5 minutes.
Was it scary? I hope it was scary. I asked the kids, and they said that they wanted to make a really scary film. Okay, we don't have enough time, but I'm going to do a quick review of our 20th history. So 2004 is when we started CMC in Kanazawa City of Ishikawa Prefecture. So the first conception was Alicia's 100 Children Are Waiting for a Train. That was the inspiration. Children in poverty. For them, holding a film workshop, her concept, I was so inspired by it, and I wanted to do something similar here. That's how it started. But of course, Japan, 20 years ago, compared to Alicia's situation materially, we were more rich. So I wasn't sure how this was going to work in Japan, but we started it to learn that children are same universally. That's what we learned. They can really find joy in films. So moving on to the next one. This is 2007 onward. We started to do filmmaking workshops. So until then, we were following strictly Alicia's concept, and we didn't do any filmmaking actually. But at this time, we made a decision. So the rule is adults will never meddle in, so we wouldn't disturb what the children were doing. And next. This is 2013. So we moved from Kanazawa to Tokyo. And this gave us expanded opportunities, rapidly expanding to different areas. And 2016, it was the first time that we joined the TIFF, we held the TIFF Teens Meet Cinema. So it was the first time that we engaged junior high school students. And since then, 2017, I'm going to talk about this later more, but France, the French film education program, we started to work with them. So we started exchanges with them. And 2019, so since we started, we always had this dream to do full workshop in public education. So without fee, children cannot join, or only families who have interested to send children to their workshop will restrict the opportunities. So if we go out to the schools and do a workshop there, it's going to be free and it will be open to everyone, we thought. So that's why since 2019, we started to be commissioned with these workshops at schools, and we have been working with 44 schools so far. And more details of the school workshop, if time allows, I would like to talk about it more later. So I said that we go out to schools, but after that actually, after we started it, since last year, there's another course. So it is a, can you go back? So this is the culture, two projects that we do for the Agency of Culture. So we send the kids in a bus to take them to the local mini theater, and they watch a movie film there. And workshop facilitators would hold a workshop for them, and then the kids will return on the bus. They will come back to school. So we started to do this, and this project, I think this is a really impressive project because it does support the mini theaters, and also knowing that there is a film theater in the local area at least once, it will become an opportunity for the kids to come to the theaters, which might bring them back as repeat customers, viewers. So I think we really want to continue this project. So there was quickly went through the 20 years, and in the past 2 decades, I think the environment around film education has significantly changed, because when we started, the people of the industry said, why do you have to teach film to children? So there was no real support, there was no interest in what we were trying to do. But I think it's very recently, 5 years, 6 years, past 5, 6 years, we started to receive a lot of support. People are starting to appreciate the value of film education to children. So I'm very happy to see that change. I'm sorry, I'm running late behind the time schedule, but I would now like to introduce Nobuhiro Suwa, the director, who has been a key person helping us. Suwa-san, could you please come up to the stage? This is filmmaker director, Mr. Suwa. Allow me to take a seat. Thank you very much. Time is up. We ran out of time. I'm sorry, I talked too much. So you can take questions. So it will be a Q&A and a panel discussion with him at the same time. So these are the key members who have been engaged in what we've been doing. I started 2010, yes, in Kanazawa. So I was invited as a lecturer. It was my first time interacting with children through film. Like as she said, there was a strict rule that we don't intervene, we don't interfere what the children do. That was a rule that we agreed on. But it's not an easy rule, you know. But recently, well, when I work with junior high students, they have a lot of problems. They need advice or help, and they don't know what to do. And sometimes you do want to step in. I would say, so if it's me, I would, in my case, I would, this is my idea, but I sometimes cannot stop like saying that. But if I say, my idea is, then they would say like, Suo-san, no, thank you, no, thank you. Because if you tell us, it will be like a direction. Because if you tell us something, no, we're not going to follow, okay? So don't tell us. So we don't need more options. We're trying to find out like magic by ourselves. Okay, I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm not going to disturb you. Because they really can be they are able to think by themselves. And I didn't want to teach anyway. Because teaching means that, this is what film means. Films have to be like this. Teaching is about telling what a film is. But I didn't want to define. I didn't want to put film in a certain definition. I don't think it's right, because we don't even know what the right definition is. If we don't know, how can you tell it to the children? You can't teach what it is if you don't know what it is. So when I started to work with Dohi-san here, I really aligned with her idea that we shouldn't be disturbing the children. We shouldn't tell them what to do. In our initial discussions, we talked about how educationally, meaning doing film education at school, if the teachers are supportive to this idea, what should we use for the education? Do we need textbooks? We had that discussion. But using textbooks, again, like telling what they have to do, I was, very against that idea. I was allergic to that idea. Because films, cinemas, we still don't know what it means. How do you create a textbook? What are you going to tell in the textbook? I thought that's not the right way. So that was a strong attitude or point of view of me. But then we had to come up with a way of how to approach it. So we didn't know. So there was a process, iteration of trials and errors. So what we did, our approach, was it successful or not? I think now we're in a stage that we have to start to evaluate or assess our efforts so far. There are a lot of stakeholders involved, and I wanted to share something today. Something today. I think this year is very special because we are screening right now in theaters, for example, Super Happy Forever. It sounds very crazy, the title, doesn't it? Super Happy Forever, but it's a great work. And it was very intriguing. There is a stone. Thank you for the translation. That is by Tatsunari Ota. And after the fever, so I heard that there was some involvement of the children in the workshop for this move. And Sho Miyake, director, everything of the dorm, about the dorm, in the editing. So we have, and Keigo Okawa was involved in the editing, so I'm super happy for as well. And there is a stone, Oka-san did all the editing. So all these films are now released and being screened. Natsuki Seta, as other names. And the happy end, yes. In the TIFF teens, the previous, he did the making video behind the scenes. So members, stakeholders of CMC, as filmmakers, film creators, are now working as real filmmakers. And they're creating completely different type of work. So I personally think that it is a new movement of a new type or certain type of Japanese films. That's how I interpret this, because I think there is a fundamental question to films that we share. So there is no strict definition of what film is. Like, questioning is the right approach, right attitude. And that really links to the contemporary or modern work that we see today. So people who have interested in children's film education are the people who have questions. That's why they are engaged in these kind of efforts. But some people in the industry tell, oh, what you're doing is not like real film, that's not professional. Some people say so. But these young creators, junior creators, like being really interested and passionate about like this kind of approach of education, I think is great. And one more thing, there was another objective that we shared from the beginning in Japan. Well, we have an international audience today, but the challenge here in Japan is that there is a crisis in the mental conditions or situation of kids, because all the teachers say that children in Japan are not confident. They don't have self-esteem. They don't have self-confidence. They don't have capability or ability to strongly believe in themselves. That's the big challenge. And there's a lot of adolescents committing suicide. It's a problem. It's a social problem. And I believe that films and the activity of producing or making film can become a solution or alleviation as a measure to alleviate that crisis, mental crisis of children, I think. But we haven't really put that idea into practice yet, but that's what I have as a concept. So yeah, that's my point of view. Today, I would like to have presentations and more point of views from our international presenters today. And I would like to also discuss in the panel discussion with the presenters like what film education can do. Also, we can have chats in the hallway. I'm sorry, we were supposed to take questions, but we're running out of time. Time is up? Time is up. But yeah, there's one more thing. Tokyo Film Next. We have to talk about Ulysses. I have to introduce that work of his. Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much.